Hi kids, welcome back to Sunday School Online, and I hope you've been enjoying our stories. The last story that we just finished last week was about Saint Eustathius. It was a very wonderful story, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. This week we're going to be starting some new stories, and I thought that since we really haven't spent much time on the Bible, and especially even the Old Testament, because a lot of times, we talk about Jesus and we talk about everything that he did, but we don't talk so much in Sunday school about the Old Testament, about all the things that happened years and years before Jesus was even born, all the way back to the beginning. And so we're going to be starting reading some stories from the Old Testament that will familiarize us, you and your parents, with the stories that kind of came before Jesus Christ, and how all those stories in the Old Testament, which is the first half of the Bible, how all those stories started to prepare us for the coming of the Son of God, the coming of Jesus. Okay, so we're going to be reading from this wonderful little book here. It's called The Lion Graphic Bible. It's another graphic novel kind of comic book that covers all the major stories from the Old Testament all the way through to the New Testament. So we're going to be reading a few stories from here in the next few weeks. And today we are going to be taking a look at the story of Genesis. Genesis means the beginning, the creation of the world. It tells us a story about how God created the whole universe, not just the earth, but the universe and our earth and all the planets and then everything that is on the earth. And we'll hear the story about Adam and Eve and the first people that were created and how they came into being and how they got to know God. So let's dive in, shall we? Okay, so this is the beginning of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So we see that it's black. There was nothing there first. And then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and that separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness night. Morning and evening were created, and that was the first day. So God created the universe first, light and darkness. And then God said, "Let there be a dome to separate water from water." So God made an expanse to separate the waters below and the waters above. And he called the dome sky. And there was evening and morning, and that was the second day. And then God said, "Let the water under the sky gather together in one place, and let the dry ground appear." God called the dry ground land, and the water sea. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land produce plants, life, grasses, herbs, seed-bearing plants, fruit-bearing trees, plants of every kind." And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and morning, and that was the third day. And God said, "Let there be light in the sky to separate day from night, and to serve as signs marking the seasons, days, and years." So God made two great lights, one to shine by day, that's the sun, and one to shine by night, that was the moon. And he also made the stars. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and morning, and that was the fourth day. And God said, "Let the oceans teem with life, and let birds fly in the skies." So God created the great sea creatures and every living thing in the ocean. And then God was pleased with what they saw, and he saw that it was good. And God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase, to fill the seas and the skies." And there was evening and morning, and that was the fifth day. And God said, "Let the land produce living creatures, all kinds of animals, cattle, and creatures of the wild." And it was so. And God saw that it was good. See all the animals he created? And God said, "Let us make human beings in our image, to have charge over all the creatures on the earth, in the skies and in the ocean." So God created human beings in his own image. Male and female he created them. And God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase on the earth, and fill the earth, and take charge of every living creature. I give you all the seed-bearing plants and every kind of fruit to eat as food. Every green plant I give to eat." And so it was. And God saw the whole of creation, it was very good. There was evening and morning, and that was the sixth day. So God's work of creation was complete, and on the seventh day God rested. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. And that is the account of the universe and of how the heavens and the earth were created. So kids, you can see that God made the whole universe and the earth in 6 days. And on the seventh day, he took a rest. And this is why we have 7 days of the week. We have, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday is also called in Greek Sabbato, which is Sabbath, and that is the day of rest. And that is the day that God rested. And so we work for 6 days as well, and we take the seventh day to rest, just like God rested in Genesis. And we see that God created both the universe, and He made the stars and the moon and the sun, and then He also made the earth and the sky and the land and the seas, and of course all the life that grew out of the waters, and of course all the animals and everything that crawled on the earth. And at the end, after He made all those things, He made us. He made human beings, a man and woman, Adam and Eve. And in the next part of the story next week, we will get into what happened to Adam and Eve. What did they do at the beginning when they first became alive, and how did they speak to God, and what happened to them? It's a very interesting story, and we will look at that next week. So tune in next week to find out what happens to the first human beings that were created by God, Adam and Eve, and how the story continues. God bless, and I'll see you next week.